Hello, thank you very much for coming today. My name's Nathan Batchelor, and I'll be one of the co-hosts today. I'm also being joined by the other co-founder and general manager, Burkin. What we basically will be doing is going through the webinar. It'll be particularly during the webinar, we'll be going through the platform. We'll each be covering our own departments that we cover. I think it'd be very helpful for anybody who's new to Beyond. So I hope you enjoy it. And before we begin, I'm just going to read through a brief disclaimer here. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information that we publish is based on our opinions, plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data, and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency, such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, sorry about this. Just the page is a bit jumpy here. Yeah, so on today's agenda, I'll be going over basically the overview of the company. Then I'll be talking about my own trading style. Then I'll hand it over to Birkin, and he'll be discussing the quantitative framework, and he'll also be having a look at the recently added features to the Beyond platform, and also the upcoming features for the future. So yeah, about Beyond, obviously we are a market intelligence platform. We're consistently evolving with cutting edge indicators, and I think also anybody who's been following us a couple of months or so, or even a couple of years, have probably noticed the improvements that continue to be made on the platform, and that's really as we we try to strive for excellence here. I think our kind of vision is to be, a leading market intelligence platform that people can just come on and have actionable trading ideas and top-notch content. Um, yeah, sorry about this. It's really jumpy. Yeah. So about me, my background, I'm a former hedge fund trader. I used to specialize in the foreign exchange industry. I moved over to crypto and haven't looked back since. I've been trading crypto for nearly around about 10 years now. Um, uh, and Birkin, he's a specialist in software engineering. He's worked in the fintech sector, and he's also got a background as a venture capitalist and investor. And he's been quant trading, I think, now for over 3 years. Sorry about this. Um, I guess if anybody who's joined isn't aware, we do have a Discord community. I'd highly recommend that you go on there. We put trading ideas on there, commentary. If there's anything going on in the market, or that you'd like to ask us any questions, it's a great place to interact with us. So yeah, over to my particular trading style. I think people who are taking my signals and read my daily newsletters, I think you'll find this part particularly interesting. So sorry about this, guys. It's really jumpy as I move the slides around. It's extra sensitive for some reason on my computer. Okay, that's it. I've got it now. Sorry. Yeah. So in terms of my own analysis, there's lots of things that I follow, whether it be on-chain sentiment, price action, patterns, or our indicators. I think the key point, if you've been following us for a while, if you get to know me, I've got a style now that very much involves my experience and also incorporating how are indicators into my analysis and my decisions. More so, I guess, as I get on in time, those things are starting to become a real staple of my analysis. I do incorporate patterns into my decision, and I've been watching price action of financial markets for over 20 years now. So this is kind of the staple of how I make my investing decisions, and obviously with access to on-chain data, it's really, really helpful. I think one of the great things that's helped me over the years is patience. My trading style, it calls for extreme patience. I'm not issuing signals all the time. My frequency can be quite frustrating for people that want constant action, but I can tell you that over the years, um, only issuing a handful of signals has always been the best practice that I've followed. Uh, Primarily because I'm a big believer that, if you want to last in this game, then you do have to take, I would say, a a less risky approach than other people, and that's what I've tended to go by. And not only that, I also think that the opportunities that I'm looking for, maybe to make 10 or 40% in order for me to make it worthwhile to actually take a trade, I think those opportunities only present themselves rarely, and I try to remain as patient as possible before I issue those signals. So if you are following the platform and some of our signals work out, and you're wondering, okay, so why hasn't Nathan issued more signals over the last couple of days? It's just because I'm sitting waiting, and everything has to kind of align in terms of my analysis. And as I evolve as a trader, I'm now becoming much more of a medium-term trader than a short-term trader. And this will become apparent as you follow me, and also through the webinar. In terms of altcoins, I pick a very select amount of altcoins that I go to follow. That bag is constantly evolving, and as our hedge fund practice grows, um, I would also say that we also try to evolve into other areas, and we will probably be looking at more risky coins in future. But probably the larger cap coins are the ones that I'm going to follow. And I think earlier, perhaps I didn't mention that we do have two practices here. We have not only the market intelligence platform, but we also have a hedge fund as a service practice, and that kind of enables us to incorporate the best of both worlds, where we have not only the insight into our own trading on our hedge fund service, and we try to bring that over into the market intelligence platform to really share that information. And I think that's something that's critical. And I think as the crypto market continues to grow and evolve, so will both practices that we're involved with, quite frankly. And I think as we get on, AI is increasingly going to be a big influence, and obviously Birkin is really into that, and he'll discuss more about Namata as he goes on. And I think in terms of other things that influence me, it's very much my own thoughts and opinions in terms of trading. If we look at broader macroeconomics, then yes, certainly we look at liquidity cycles, and we may enjoy the wisdom of some experts in that field. But outside of actual trading and trading decisions, I'm influenced by nobody but myself in terms of that regard. And in terms of pure strategy, I try to look 2 or 3 moves ahead, i.e., I'm quite different to other people. I see things in the charts that maybe other people don't see. So we're now trading at $114,000 on Bitcoin. I'm already considering the next couple of moves after I believe it's hit 200,000, and where it's going to go next. So that's really given me another edge in terms of being able to predict the moves ahead. And anybody who's followed me over the last 4 or 5 years will know that as well. I think my goal, on a very conservative basis for Bitcoin, is to try to achieve about 50% a year. Some years it can be wildly more than that, and some years it can underperform, but that's the benchmark every year that I try to go for. And obviously our hedge fund practice is slightly more conservative goals than that. We do have a hurdle rate to meet, but I think, if I were to say in the middle of my goal there of around 50%, that's kind of the sweet spot. But obviously in a raging bull market, that's probably not going to satisfy anybody too much. And that is a non-leveraged return as well. So I guess that's kind of what I shoot for. If you want a quick example of how I look to trade, so here is a chart that I constructed in 2024. And basically, the idea was that Bitcoin was going to trade inside between the red channel there. And if we move down to the bottom of the channel, the idea was that we should never break underneath there, otherwise we were going to fall towards the white line. So we initiated a long position after it was clear to me that Bitcoin was going to go higher, and the target was the top of the channel there on the red line, and that obviously played out, and it went slightly higher. And if you want to have a look at actually going as far back as 2023, if we have a look at the entire structure here, I'll try and run through this very quickly. There was a head and shoulders pattern. If we look at 2022, that broke. We obviously hit the cycle low, and we started to consolidate. And I constructed the former swing high there on that white line. We were consolidating underneath there, and it was very clear to me that we were going to try to break it on a number of attempts. For me, the clear target was a move back towards the head and shoulders pattern, i.e. the red line. So the trade idea was a breakout above that line and a move towards around $50,000. I think we got long at around 26 and close to 40,000 we got out. But this was just a trading idea, and it was a very frustrating year, and we were just coming out the bull market. But that's just that just is a sense of how I trade. And if you want to have a look at this year, at the start of the year, fully transparent, we were looking for a correction down to about 78,000. And then from there, if that held, we were going to push back to around about 139 to 140,000. Bear in mind that we're now trading well above 100,000, and I think we're on our way to going towards that target. So here's a snapshot of kind of how I think ahead, and it serves our hedge fund practice very well. And obviously, incorporating the indicators that we have, it all seems to be working very well. And if our subscribers can benefit from that knowledge, then it's a good thing. If you want to have a look at how I kind of get some of our signal trading ideas, I think I've recently had a request for SUI and how we constructed that idea. Well, we also follow a system called DMARC, and DMARC was giving us some buy signals. So incorporating my own technical analysis, I realized that there was a triangle pattern breakout. Last week, we retested the triangle and we moved from there. So as well as the DMARC buy signals, some of the other on-chain indicators that we've got, the fact that we're above the channel, and I think the risk reward here was clear. If we stay above the channel that we broke out, or the triangle pattern rather, the upside here is so tremendous towards 8, and the downside is just it's a minimal risk trade for a tremendous reward. And again, it fits very well with the criteria that we have for our trading. So with this now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to pass it over to Burkan. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
Hello, everybody. My name is Burkan. I'll just quickly go over our quantitative framework. But before I start, I'll give a bit more background information about how Nathan and I have met, our journey into here. So I met Nathan at the end, towards the end of the last bull cycle. We became really good friends. Then we decided to launch a crypto hedge fund. Nathan actually pushed me to develop our quantitative practice. Then that's in 2021, we started Biyond. We were at the end of the bull market and starting a bear market, so it was so hard to raise funds to manage. But we managed to raise at the time about $5 million. But because it took so long to raise funds, and we had so much research completed on the back end, we decided to actually open that research to public and to the traders all around the world. That's how Biyond Platform came to life, actually. Our core business is our hedge fund practice. Biyond is a side business, started as a side business, but we love doing this. We love interacting with people all around the world. We love growing our community. So we are very excited that people are joining us and following us. And with that power, we hope to do better in the future. So back into our quantitative framework. Our institutional investors main concern is volatility in crypto. So they are scared, are actually, we serve treasury departments of companies in Europe and Middle East. So the only for us to convince them to give us money, to prove them, we have to prove them that we avoid volatility or we minimize drawdowns in these assets. If you look at Bitcoin, actually, it is the greatest investment in human history. It has a medium Sharpe ratio over 2. NVIDIA gets close to Bitcoin, but in the history of humanity, there is nothing beats Bitcoin's returns. If you buy it, you hold it, you make money. It's simple as that. The problem with Bitcoin and crypto assets is that it could have huge drawdowns, are up to 80%. And treasury departments whose main job is actually protect capital were not willing to invest in assets that have such high drawdowns. So what we tried to do, or what our primary research became, is actually to show them that we could minimize the drawdowns from 80 to 30% and still reach that target Sharpe ratio, get closer to the Sharpe ratio of Bitcoin. That's where our target of our quantitative models are. So 2 Sharpe ratio gives you about 400% returns on a yearly, and a maximum drawdowns of 30%. For those of you who don't know what Sharpe ratio is a way to measure a risk-adjusted return of an investment or a trading strategy. Anything less than 1 is not that difficult to achieve. S&P, if you put money into S&P index, we will get a Sharpe ratio around 0.5, so it's not that difficult. If you start getting over 1, it becomes really good. Those strategies, quantitative or discretionary, it's really hard to get a Sharpe ratio over 2. And over 3 is really rare. It's excellent returns. Only a few quantitative big shops in the world can actually achieve 3.0. Our models range just below 2 and above 2.0. Those are Beyond Atlas and Vanguard, and we'll show them to you. So again, just to summarize, the main thesis of our research is actually minimize drawdowns on crypto assets while achieving similar Sharpe ratio that Bitcoin can achieve over a long term. So Beyond Atlas actually helps us predict overbought and oversold conditions. It is really a good indicator, I think, because it's more frequent than widely used crypto indicators like 200-week moving average, MVRV, hold waves, which you find tops for using these indicators every other 4 years. But Beyond Atlas, it will help you find local, every other 3 months tops and bottoms, which that will improve your returns. So it helps us improve our discretionary conviction levels. The weakness of Beyond Atlas, it's predictive, but it lags trend changes. So it's not a momentum indicator. It lags. So you will get changes in Bitcoin in Beyond Atlas maybe a few days later, not right away. So it's a lagging indicator, but it helps. It's very effective finding tops and bottoms in the local cyclical movements of crypto assets. Currently applicable only for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but good news is that just today our team was able to add new coins into Beyond Atlas. We added Maker, XRP, Litecoin. We'll be adding ADA, I think, in a couple of days. We added Uniswap, and we added one more coin, but I could not. But if you go to the website, you will see that there are new coins added to Beyond Atlas. We haven't finished our back tests for a bit Beyond Atlas signals, but we'll do them soon so that you can get a better idea how effective Beyond Atlas in other crypto assets. To go over the fact sheet of Beyond Atlas, it is a Sharpe ratio of 0.65, annualized returns 91%. It uses leverage 2 times. Signal win rate is 44%. It sounds low, but in typically quantitative models, signal win rate above 40 is pretty good. And maximum drawdown is 34%. If you what this indicator does actually, it has an inverse relationship with price. If the index is moving down, that means it's bullish. If it is moving up, it's bearish. When it gets into the red zone, it's a danger, really bearish momentum zone. You should stay away from the market. Even look for opportunities to short the market. When it's in the green zone, it's a very high momentum zone. If you are in, the Bitcoin is in the green zone, it's still moving down. You could take leverage. You could just really go bullish, full scale. When it starts turning, that means the momentum is still positive, still in the green zone, but the momentum is decreasing. So you could start deleveraging and start moving to cash slowly as it moves out of the green zone into the neutral zone. Then, according to the direction, you start taking, you decrease your conviction basically with the direction of Beyond Atlas. As you can see, it has an automated bot following Beyond Atlas intelligence. It has an average 86% returns. This is live. It issues signals on a daily basis on every morning. We publish this on Telegram, on our platform, and on Discord. So far, so good. So it's a pretty good indicator. And you will see a lot of material on the internet and social media, which with indicators that have much higher returns. Believe me, it is really hard to get these returns. Maybe some indicators will get much higher returns in a short period of time, but to be able to do this consistently over the years, not many quantitative models can achieve this. So please do your own research and be aware that really consistent models make a difference. And Beyond Atlas, we believe, is one of them. The problem with Beyond Atlas at the moment. So unfortunately, Beyond Atlas has been moving up for a number of weeks. We are still very bullish from a macro perspective. Fed just signaled they were going to cut rates. Liquidity is very high. But for some reason, Beyond Atlas index has been moving up. So I'm started comparing this time frame back in 2021 when index was moving up, but the price was moving up as well, and eventually got into the red zone and crashed. So we are expecting Bitcoin to move higher in the coming weeks, hopefully reach 130, 140. But then if this index is in the red zone, we'll look for exits. And I don't think based on Beyond Atlas, Bitcoin will go any higher. Maybe it will get a significant correction, then maybe have another bullish run into next year. Nathan, do you have any comment on where Beyond Atlas is at the moment?
Yeah, I guess the obvious thing to do is to look at the price and look at Beyond Atlas, right? So you might think to yourself, okay, well, Beyond Atlas is moving up and the price is moving up. So, what's going on there? So what I would say here is if you consider where Bitcoin is trading, Bitcoin on Friday moved down towards under 112,000. And if we look at when Atlas started to move out and Bitcoin it broke out above 109,000. So it was basically only $3,000 above that breakout after going up towards 124,000 and pulling back. So Atlas moving up, that is telling you that these moves aren't going to stick around. Every rally is going to get sold and so on and so forth until it starts to turn down. So in the very short term, if you are thinking about taking a long position on Bitcoin, you certainly want Atlas trading in the opposite direction to price. We want it moving down so the price can continue to move up. Just like if you look at the what it did after the election, it continued to trend lower. And at the start of or the end of the summer in 2023, when it starts to pick a direction and stays with that direction, then you don't get these horrible pullbacks and chops in the market. So that's what I would really just say in terms of comment. Try to stick with it, and hopefully it's going to start to turn lower soon.
Great, thank you. About Vanguard weekly has a Sharpe ratio of 5.2, which is quite high. The problem with the weekly Vanguard is you don't get to trade that often. The signal rate is not that frequent, so the returns won't be that high because you only trade maybe 5 times, 6 times a year. 3-day is very effective as well in Vanguard. It doesn't have as high Sharpe ratio as Vanguard weekly, but as the time frames get lower, like 8-hour, 12-hour, the returns become better because you trade more frequently, a better chance of winning, but they have lower Sharpe ratio. Again, just to clarify, weekly has a very high Sharpe ratio, but if you're a frequent trader, you could follow 8-hour and 12-hour. It's all documented in our quantitative framework, but you should be careful, as those returns could be high, but the Sharpe ratio becomes risky. To explain how Vanguard works, when it is green, that means bullish, you should be in position. When it is blue, you should be considering moving into cash to become neutral, but the market is still have high momentum. When it's orange, you should be looking for shorts, staying neutral. When it's red, you should definitely look for getting a short position, and the market is losing tremendous momentum and the downward momentum is increasing. So that's how we should be looking into Vanguard. Currently, our Vanguard is blue. 3 days was orange. Hopefully, it will turn blue and green in the coming days after the Fed decision. Just to be clear, Vanguard is optimized for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Aave, Doge, Sol, Sui, Link, XRP, and BNB. It is optimized for these coins, but it's applicable for all assets. If any of you trade a particular coin, and it has history, please send us a request. We could optimize that coin for you for Vanguard. As I indicated earlier, 8-hour and 12-hour generates more returns due to frequent trading, but weekly and 3-day have the best risk-reward ratio. Firefly Alpha, we still have the Firefly Alpha on our slides, but I used to use it. I'll be honest, I no longer use Firefly Alpha. I plan to take it out of our platform. It doesn't help me in the recent weeks, actually up to 6 months. So we plan to replace Firefly Alpha with Challenger once the beta version is complete and we have proven records for Challenger. But Firefly Alpha still could be useful for timing the market and looking for diversions. But see, I personally don't use it anymore. So if I'm not using it, why do we have it on our platform? So we'll probably take it out unless there is a strong request from our subscribers that we should keep it on. Canonade is basically is a Vanguard monitor. It monitors all the coins that we have on our platform and issues weekly, 3-day, daily, 12-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour signals. So every 4 hours, 2 hours, it will wake up. It will scan the Vanguard indicators, Vanguard parameters data for all the coins we have in our system. And if it passes a certain threshold, it will issue a signal. So if you want to follow Canonade, which is actually a representation of Vanguard for all coins, you should just follow the time frame that you want to trade on. As soon as that time frame is closed, then Canonade will issue a new signal. You could also follow the back tests and track records of Canonade on our system to get convictions. All that information is documented on our quantitative framework. We keep developing this guide, which is a living document. But what we realized that it started becoming too long and too complicated. So we thought this wasn't really, usability of this framework was not that good. So what we ended up doing, we started teaching this framework, all our indicators, where we get the data, how we think about it. We started teaching this into ChatGPT and Claude. So we teach the framework, we tell the AI what to do, what data they should be looking at. So we give the guide. We also feed the news about that particular asset. We also feed Nathan's view, and we ask AI, ChatGPT, or Claude to summarize all that pages of information and thousands of data that we feed into ChatGPT or Claude, depending on our balances on those platforms, and that summarizes that information very quickly into 100 words. That becomes very helpful for our users, we thought. So we plan to improve Nirmata in the near future, but that was the main idea basically, because our quantitative framework is just got too complicated, and we get AI. We are building an agent now to summarize all that intelligence into 100 to 200 words. We have also coin-specific pages that will summarize all the indicators we have in our system, including signals. And as to recently added features, so I want to talk about Challenger. It's still in beta, but I started using this on a day, even an hourly basis. I think it's a great indicator. I think it's working well, but we haven't finished our back testing yet. So how this indicator works, we came up with the idea of Challenger based on Tom DeMark's DeMark TDS indicator. It works very similar to it. So when the index reaches 100, it's either issues a buy or a sell signal. That means the market is either overbought or oversold. We called it Challenger because it actually gives a signal against momentum. So we try to catch the bottom basically. So that was the main idea of Challenger. If you think about it, last week on Tuesday, I also posted this on Discord. Daily time frame, we have about 150 coins on our system. 35% of those coins were about 30 points away from a buy signal. That was on Tuesday, last Tuesday. So every day, if the momentum keeps decreasing or increasing, index will move from 60 to 70, 80, 90, and 100. Every 10 points in the daily time frame, that means one day. On the 12-hour, that means every 10 points means another 12 hours. So that's the candle count is represented by the index, basically. So I don't know whether Challenger guessed what Powell was going to say, but it was simply indicating that market was getting oversold. This is on Friday when the Jackson Hole meeting took place. As you can see, Bitcoin had a very strong daily buy signal and also 12-hour signal. When they line up, they become really strong. Higher the time frame, stronger the signal is. So weekly signals are much more powerful than daily and 12-hour. And when there's a 12-hour and 1 day and an 8-hour, when they overlap, you should really take attention to it, because that means market potential is oversold. In this case, it was oversold, and we bounced right back. When when you see red colors, that means they are oversold. And Tron TRX has given a weekly sell signal, which is pretty strong. Let's see how it's going to behave. We also introduced alpha brief reports. We try to do one report every other 2 weeks. The idea behind alpha brief, we do research and we do analysis on the coins that we really like, early stage or late stage, and we write a report to it. Not only give information, but we try to issue our conviction and signals for that particular asset. If you look at our Hawkeye, which is a presentation of Alpha Brief, it's been doing actually quite well for large stage projects. We got Hyperite, we got Pengu, we got Pump. We've got also a couple of negative returns, but overall, Aave Signal, Sui, XRP, Pendle, these were great funds, and the returns are pretty awesome. So the Hawkeye is still in beta. version for early stage projects. This has become our wall of shame, unfortunately, but we are still at the beginning of an alt season. Hopefully this will turn around and make 5-10x, but time will show. Let's see whether our research is in line with what market is thinking. As far as upcoming features, our main priority is to get our mobile app live. Google is about to approve our Android app. It could be any day now. Unfortunately, Apple OS is taking some time due to subscription requirements they had for our during our application, so we needed some more development for that. And for Nirmata, we want to add audio, charts, and video added to the Nirmata world. This AI world is moving very fast. There are awesome features coming out, so we want to leverage those new advancements in AI technology. I guess that's it. Nathan, do you want to add anything? Should we go on to questions?
Yeah, I think if anybody would like to ask any questions specific to the webinar, please do so. Any questions on coins or analysis of the current market, I'll be resuming the normal webinar service on Thursday and Sunday. So yeah, please feel free just to any questions on today's webinar or our products would be great.
Nathan, for some reason I cannot see the questions. Would you mind letting me know if there are any questions?
Yeah, sure. So far we haven't got any questions come in, but I appreciate that maybe they'll come in momentarily. Okay, so yeah, I mean, at the moment we don't have any questions coming about the webinar. As I said, you can catch us on Discord. Feel free to discuss with us anything on Discord that's market related. We're normally on there. We have question come in. Can you see the question? Okay, Birkin. Okay, I'll read it out. Does any of the chatbot tech educate on terms that you used during the presentation? Did you get that, Birkin? I think you're muted, Birkin, if you're trying to speak.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was unmuted. I didn't realize
Yeah,
I was speaking
yeah.
into it. All right, thank you. So I got the question. Yes, that is our main purpose actually, to teach our framework into ChatGPT and Claude, so that in return it can teach you and answer your questions. I think there are still a lot of improvements that we can make. I'm not really happy with how far it's gotten so far. But with time, that's our main purpose, to teach AI to help our subscribers understand our indicators and our framework, so that they can better make trading decisions, investment decisions for their portfolio.
Can you see the questions coming in, Birkin?
Yeah, is there any specific way of combining indicators that is effective for the shorter term moves? The simpler, the better for me. I think so far, Vanguard and Challenger have proven to be great short-term trade indicators. Beyond Atlas is a medium-term indicator, I will say, because it tries to find bottoms and tops rather 2 to 3 months. But Vanguard, 8-hour, 12-hour, and the Challenger, specifically 8-hour, 12-hour, and the daily signals have become, I think they are very efficient. So I will highly recommend you try to combine those indicators into your short-term decision making. Also, Nathan's insight about the market on his daily newsletters will be very helpful.
Thanks, Birkin. I have some other questions. Oh, I think there's a follow-up there, Birkin, for you. Yeah.
Can I get any help with placing stop loss from any of the indicators? I usually work with recent support levels, but often find them broken. Very good question. We get this question a lot, specifically on Vanguard signals. The problem is when we place stop loss and backtest Vanguard signals, the returns diminish. The stop loss does not really work with Vanguard or quantitative signals. When we do backtest, we optimize our models to achieve the highest Sharpe ratio and highest returns. And to get the highest returns, we end up removing the stop loss levels. So if we do actually place a stop loss on these quantitative signals, that means we will not be representing the fact sheet or quantitative backtest results of those indicators. That is why we cannot place stop loss, or we can recommend stop loss for those signals. That is because simply it doesn't represent our backtest and quantitative research. Unfortunately, Beyond Atlas has stop loss levels about 5%, but Vanguard does not. As I mentioned, when we put stop loss and we tested it, stop loss, the returns are not that good. So interestingly, yeah, that's a reality.
Great. I think because I'm the host, Birkin, I've got. Sorry. There's another question coming in. Will it be possible for us to be notified when entry and sell positions have been issued? Yes, I think we normally give email alerts, or for Atlas, I think you can join on Telegram. If that's
Oh,
correct,
yeah,
Birkin.
we do currently. Nathan's discretionary signals gets emailed, and also Discord. We notify our subscribers. Beyond Atlas Vanguard signals, our Trade Blotter signals are being published on Discord and Telegram. But I know there is a demand out there that we email these signals to our subscribers as well. I tried to do that, but it turned out there was too many emails going out and people were getting annoyed with it. So we need to actually combine these signals in a single email. We did that, and that email became content just become not very usable. So we don't know what to do next. We are just trying to find our way around to make this world more user-friendly for everybody. But currently, getting these signals emailed to our subscribers this frequently just became annoying, and people didn't like that. If you have any ideas, please let us know. We are looking forward to get our signals to our subscribers. But I guess the best way or the best solution will be to get our mobile app live so that you can get push notifications on our mobile app. That will just solve the issue. Hopefully, we'll get this done in a few months.
Right. Will there be an API for the signals, Birkin?
Good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe. Why not? We currently actually provide API for our B2B clients. We have a couple of exchanges, crypto exchanges that utilize our signals for their subscribers. But this is an institutional product. If there is a lot of demand from the retail side, maybe we'll just open that up but for now, we are just opening this API to institutional clients that we have.
Right. I've got a question here from that's come in about pivot points. I guess you haven't been specific. You just written the word pivot point. So yeah, I mean, we've recently added it, and it's a great guide just to know where the pivot points are in the market, and you can find that obviously in our indicator section. And if you go through our library of webinars, I think I've done 2 or 3 explaining about pivot points. So yeah, I mean, if there's anything specific that you want to know about them, please feel free to write in here. Another question we have is Beyond Atlas can only be viewed on our website. That's correct. And it cannot be, and you ask, it cannot be used for alt pairs. It can be used for some alt pairs. We recently added some today. So I think we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Link, Maker, 1inch, and I think Uni, and I think XRP is being added next week, and maybe another one. So yeah, I guess that covers that. And I think final question here: which of the tools can be used to analyze custom alt pairs? What would you say, Birkin? I guess Vanguard really for customized that and Challenger.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Could you please repeat that, Nathan? I couldn't see that question.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I guess, which one of our indicators can be used to analyze customized altcoin pairs? And I think, that the broadest range of analysis is probably Vanguard on our system, right?
Okay, yeah. So Beyond Atlas collects data from blockchain. We use sentiment and Glassnode, and a lot of popular coins have came out recently. They have only a few years of history, so we cannot do really sound and healthy research with limited data for Beyond Atlas. That's another reason, because it's blockchain data driven. We cannot publish that on TradingView. Vanguard is only centralized exchange data, so it's much easier to optimize Vanguard for all other assets. Basically, any asset that is traded on centralized exchange. However, Vanguard gets effective when there is a lot of data as well. So when there is more history, more effective Vanguard is. A very good example, we like SUI a lot. I have tried to optimize SUI on Vanguard, and we issue signals for SUI on Vanguard, and it's not doing that well. It's doing really bad. Yeah, people ask us to optimize they traded coins on Vanguard, but unfortunately, if there's no history, it just doesn't perform well. Does that answer the question, Nathan, or did I go off topic?
No. I think perfectly. I think we've got a final one come in here, Birkin. I don't know if you can see it. Asked it. Could you see
Telegram
it?
channel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will share that. It should be Beyond Trader, but the exact link, I could share that on Discord if you are a member of our Discord community. I could share that on the link, exact link on Discord. Or you could just email us and I'll respond back to you.
Okay, great. I think we have one final question. Ludwig says, great information. So I guess you would recommend trading most of your signals with more capital and less leverage, and maybe skip the stop loss. The only problem is you need to accumulate the capital somehow. So yeah, I guess for my own signals, I'd always advise using a stop loss, and I guess Birkin has kind of answered the question about automated signals and stop losses. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
make a quick comment. As
yeah,
a trader myself, I use high leverage. I guess the issue with using leverage is using leverage is a matter of risk management. Risk management, before you take risk, you've got to, I guess every trader has to learn how to manage their emotional world. Um, that means fear and greed. So once you start, getting to know yourself and your risk profile better and better, then leverage starts making sense. But if you are still fearing your trades or getting too greedy with your trades, I will highly recommend against using leverage because that's when people lose money. So I guess a matter of experience. Yeah, someone has to get to. We cannot recommend leverage because we don't know your risk profile, obviously, and our models basically mostly use very little leverage, and we try to optimize our models with little leverage so that people can manage their own risk profile. I hope that answers your question.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you, Birkin. I don't see any other questions come in, so I guess now's a good time to say thank you very much for coming today. If anybody joined via AppSumo, we very much appreciate a review. And obviously, we really appreciate you, and we'll continue to strive to improve the service. And obviously, we hope that the bull market will continue. for at least another 6 months or so would be very nice, I think. And hopefully the market conditions will align with our in-house view that we should see those good couple of months. Anything you'd like to add, Burkan?
No, thank you very much, and hoping to see you guys all around on Discord. See you guys around.
Thank you very much,
all right.
and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.